All right, we want to demonstrate the cost or the hidden cost of trade credit, and a lot of small companies get into trouble over relying on trade credit because sometimes the costs are hidden so well that they don't realize that trade credit can be very expensive. Now we have ABC buying $100,000 worth of stuff from its supplier XYZ each year. And purchases are made evenly throughout the year, so they always have some outstanding invoices from the company. So they buy on terms of 210 net 30, and they currently pay on day 30 because, after all, it's only 2%, so who really cares, right? Well, 210 net 30, as we've seen with other parts of the Burma Night book, and or in the videos, 210 net 30 has an effective annual interest rate of around 37%. And it's hard to see that sometimes because it's really not an interest rate you're being charged. It's really, you're just giving up a discount. It's the same thing though, and it can be very expensive. So let's go on and figure out where ABC is standing. Right now they purchase $100,000 of stuff per year. And if we assume they buy it every day, that's the easiest way to work this out. That comes out to daily purchases of about $275, $273.97 if we're going to pretend that these numbers are really accurate. Now right now they pay on day 30, so they always have 30 days worth of invoices sitting on their in their inbox. So the accounts payable deferral period with respect to this company is about $8,219. So on any given day, if they open up their ledger book, they owe XYZ about $8,200. Now, if they could reduce that, instead of paying them on day 30, they start paying them on day 10. That would mean that they would have to reduce this from $8,219 to $2,740. Now, all that means is that the next time they send in a payment, they're going to pay off 20 days worth of those invoices all in one fell swoop. And then instead of letting them stack up for 30 days, they're going to let them stack up for 10, and then they're going to pay them. So in order to do that, they need to send a check the next time they make a payment for an extra $5,479. And what that'll do is reduce their accounts, the accounts payable to XYZ from $8,219 to $2,740. So, why bother? Well, at 2% interest, or a 2% discount on $100,000, they would save $2,000 a year. Oh, but they got to pay that one time, $54.79. They don't have to pay it. They can borrow it. Let's say that they put it on their credit card at 12% interest. Well, the annual cost, if they don't even pay down any of the principal, would be $658 of interest each year. Okay, so you're going to spend $2,000 to save $658 in interest. I think you should do the opposite. If you borrow this $5,500 and pay off the invoices, what you could do then is end up paying $658 a year and then saving $2,000. Okay, this hardly seems worth it, right? Well, start adding some zeros on there, and pretty soon you're going to have a company that's making pretty good bank simply from paying their bills on time. Now, a lot of students don't really get this accounts payable deferral period change. Let's look at, assume this company started on day 1 and just started buying from XYZ, and we're going to say that they buy every day because the math will simply be easier for me. So purchases, this is how much ABC purchases from XYZ. And we're just going to say they do it every day because it's easier like that. All right, so that currency. So they buy $273.97 worth of stuff every day. And they have 30 days to pay, so they'll just take their 30 days to pay. The cumulative amount outstanding of the unpaid portion is what's going to be their accounts payable. Okay, so they paid nothing that day. The next day they buy another $273. So if the payment is 0, their accounts payable is $273.97. So the next day, the prior day's accounts payable plus the new purchases minus any payments. All right, and what we'll see is that if we go down 30 days, so the cumulative amount goes and keeps on rising until it hits the 30 days worth of accounts payable, which is the same number that we were showing over here, this 82.19. All right, on day 30, on the 31st day, what they're going to do is pay the invoice from day 1. Okay? So what happens after that, since they keep paying off invoices as they go, you reach what's called steady state. All right, so the accounts payable is always going to be 82.19 under the assumptions we're doing in the problem. That's because as they borrow stuff, or they borrow the money to buy stuff from their supplier, they're paying it 30 days in arrears. So it's coming in at the same rate it's going out. All we're saying is that if instead of letting that rack up all that direction, if they made a one-time payment of now let me just take it back to the beginning. Instead of waiting until the 30th day, if they just started paying stuff on the 10th day, it would make the accounts payable lower. So how could they do that? Well, if they took a one-time borrowing of $5,500 and paid off the outstanding invoices, that's how they could do it. And they don't even have to pay it back. They just pay interest on it as they go. So that's the idea behind managing the accounts payable.